ScratchHead. I love this game so much. ScratchHead is a Cuphead-inspired game made in Scratch. Now while this might be a red flag, this Scratch game is one of the best out there. Now it could be biased since I love Cuphead, and ScratchHead is basically kinda like Cuphead, but come on, the animation is great, the gameplay is fun, the hitboxes are kinda buggy, you know there's still bugs, but you know, Scratch, 7 bosses including 1 secret boss, and it's so fun in fact, I decided to do a speedrun of it. But there was one thing I was missing throughout these speedruns. I didn't rank how hard it was. Now, Parry Fairy isn't like the usual bosses. You don't shoot her like a traditional boss, you have to parry the mini fairies that do 1 damage, or parry her that does 2 damage but there is a cooldown on her parry. Basically the King's Leap, which is what makes her special being the secret boss. And even when playing normally, disregarding speedrunning, she is not that difficult. At most I'm gonna give her a high D tier. Like even then, I don't even find her as much of a difficult boss compared to the other bosses. And even when trying to speedrun, there's not much you can do. The most you can do is try to get the most opportunities to parry Fairy herself, not her fairy minions, since that does do more damage. Which basically means just equipping Track Runner. That's it for phase 1. Phase 2, I mean, what else do I say? You parry her. That's it. Parry Fairy high D, which might be a little bit disappointing since the secret boss was so easy, but at least it gives you an overpowered charm, which I use for the entire speedrun since it basically just increases the DPS. If you don't know, it basically makes it so that if you parry, you get this little fairy turret, which does damage. And hey, more damage means faster time, so yeah. Now, Sorcerer's going in a low B. This might be surprising since phase 2 and phase 3 are not that difficult. Phase 2 is literally just use Flame when he's not attacking, use Mega Shot when he is attacking, get parries and use EXs on the way. Phase 3 is just dodge bullets, use Mega Shot when he's attacking, use Flame when not attacking. Yeah, you know? But the main reason I am putting Sorcerer kinda high in this list is phase 1. That took me the longest to actually get a consistent way to speedrun. The best way to speedrun phase 1 was to get up close and personal and use Flame. But I needed a setup where I could actually dodge the projectiles while up close. It took me like a couple hours to get this, and even then I can't even do it that consistently. In my actual speedrun, I just kinda got lucky. If you want an explanation, it's just that it's dash little left. If half of Scratch's right ear is next to the door, then you should be fine. If the door in the background is closer to the peak, aka the pointy part of Scratch's right ear, then you're screwed. Then if you're not screwed enough, you got the setup right, you still have to be precise in your dodging. And in which you use an EX, get close, then you have to reposition yourself. Repositioning yourself, I have no setup, I just try to get Scratch's right ear in the correct spot. If I don't, I take damage. And even then, I would say 30% of my deaths are from Sorcerer. Since I take so much damage in phase 1, I just die to the other phases. Or 2, I just die in phase 1. Bob the Blob, high C. Very close to B, but I am facing it to high C. Bob the Blob, phase 1 is basically just Goopy with an extra attack, which if you play Cuphead, Goopy is easy as hell, and you just use Spread, or in this case in ScratchHead, Flame, phase 1. Then in phase 2, it gets a little interesting. In phase 2, his first attack is always this Beehive attack. And this Beehive attack is the only way in the boss to get parries. And if you remember, I am using the Fairy Charm, which basically gives me turrets. But it is also a little bit luck based, since sometimes I don't even see a parry. I do see one, but it's way too dangerous. But you can be risky on these parries. So my strategy is just, when the Beehive attack starts, I should focus on getting parries. Since these fairies do actually help, especially for Bob the Blob's third phase. So in the Beehive attack, you don't focus on damaging that much as you should getting parries. Basically, I try to get the most parries as I can. 2 at least. 1 fairy is fine, but 2 or 3 is great. Then after that, it's basically just use Locator when attacking. Use Flame when not attacking. Literally, Flame shreds the rest of phase 2. And in phase 3, use Locator when he's not here. Use Flame when he is here. I am putting him in C tier, since phase 3 does sometimes mess me up. I could get the timing wrong in phase 2, and phase 2 does have a little bit of luck based on the parries. And Harria's going on low D. There's no competition here. It might be obvious since Harrier is the only boss, his phases are just background bosses. So basically Mega Shot and Flame just spreads this. I mean, here's the strategy. Use Flame and get up close and personal. In phase 2, when he is attacking, use Mega Shot. When he's not attacking, use Flame. In phase 3, Flame. That is it. The only thing I would say is that the first phase is the only opportunity to get parries, which is the only opportunity to get more damage from the fairies. But even then, you can beat up the boss so quickly, it doesn't matter that much if you get fairies or not. I mean, in my actual speedrun, I got the bug where for some reason it didn't give me a fairy, which the creator said is just a weird bug that they couldn't figure out how to fix. But even then, I still beat up Harrier relatively quickly, so these fairies and parries don't matter as much as something like Bob the Blob does. IROC, going in high B. Now, I don't know why, when playing IROC normally, I just suck, dude. I don't know why. Like, IROC's attacks don't seem that hard. It could be just the fact that the quickest way to beat up IROC is just following him around in Flame, which is very annoying. And also, it might be weird putting him this high since 2 of his attacks don't even do damage, but the Daze attack gives me inverted controls, which I am not dealing with that, so I try to avoid that as possible, and making it harder for myself because the strategy I use is that I have to use the Flame EX at the right time to kill with the stars, which I did pull off in my actual speedrun, but the timing is a little bit tight. Phase 1 is not that hard. When he's doing his gauntlet attack, Flame does shred since his eye and arm do count as separate hitboxes, which basically doubles my DPS in this situation. I will say in phase 2 and phase 3, at least you get spoiled with parries most of the time. It's not as luck based and that uncommon as something like Bob the Blob and Harrier. Even then, I still find it so difficult to dodge these goddamn fireballs. I just suck at IROC, man. Phase 3 is not that difficult. The gravity effect from these guys, making it so you're heavier and your jump is slightly lower. It is kind of annoying, but it's not too bad. The last phase, if you have 2 HP, you can just damage boost them. But for some reason, my actual speed when I had 3 HP, I still try to dodge, but then get hit anyway. And even then, I missed my Flame EX, making me beat this boss way slower. Which is, I don't know why they do that. But yeah. But like I said, I find it really difficult to actually dodge IROC's attack. So actually surviving with at least 2 HP, at least in the last phase, is pretty difficult for me. So IROC's gonna be on high B. Invader's going in A. Phase 1 I used Locator, which might be a weird choice, but it's because of these minions. They have so much health. Most of the EXs don't even kill these guys. So I gotta use Locator for 1. Phase 1 is the easiest way to get parries from, and these fairies do help in this boss. So I try to get the most parries I can in this. And that's basically that's the why. The minions and the parries, that's all I need. And in phase 2, the way it works is that there's 3 enemies and you have to kill them, each one by one. And you don't know, Flame's EX pierces through enemies. So this is a strategy I try to do. I try to get the Flame EX to hit the most I can in all of these guys, which I do pull it off in my actual speedrun. But let me just say, it is not that easy to actually pull off. I do have to get kinda lucky at the start, since the spider guy moves in the right middle or left, and the snake I'm pretty sure only moves in the right, so the most optimal way is if the spider goes to the right, but sometimes that doesn't happen to pull this trick off. Usually my strategy is just try to kill the spider the fastest I can, which the fairies do help, and basically try to get the Flame EX to hit both of the guys. And yeah, I will say this might be a personal problem, but for some reason for Invader I lag here so much. And for the last phase, not bad. I mean, Locator is the only one that can actually consistently hit this guy when he has the shields up, but it's just, when he is attacking, use Locator. When he isn't attacking, use Flame. And Invader's done. And that is why I'm putting Invader in low A. Could honestly be high B, but low A. Moa is the first boss in part 2 and basically Grim matched it. And I'm putting him in A tier. Basically the whole strategy of Moa is just use Flame, but I don't think the intent of trying to beat Moa is to get close up and personal. Because damn, it is hard to try to actually get close while you're actually trying to dodge all the stuff on screen. I will say in part 2, parries don't matter that much because in part 2 there's actually no way to actually get the charm for parry fairy, so I just use track runner from now on. Phase 1, use flame, but I usually die to these goddamn seed sprouts because of their hitboxes. Phase 2, I usually focus on getting the most damage because you know it's a speed run, which involves me getting hit. Phase 3 is also pretty difficult from the fact that wind exists, making flame a short range weapon way harder to actually hit and actually dodging everything. Phase 4, at least it does tone down a bit. Use Mega Shot when he is attacking, use Flame when he's not attacking, and if I have higher than 2 HP, I damage boost, but sometimes it doesn't work, so yeah. Brock the Lobster is going in high C. Now this might be controversial, but it might be a little bit biased since before I actually wanted to speedrun part 2, Brock was the boss I played the most, probably because he was the most fun and unique in my opinion. Speedrunning him isn't that bad. In phase 1 it is actually pretty doable, make him only do one set of attacks where usually it takes him 2 separate attacks to actually get to phase 2. You just have to get precise and Mega Shot, which actually isn't that bad with practice. Phase 2, I mean, what else do I say for phase 2? You use Flame, I mean I'm pretty sure that's the whole point of phase 2. Phase 3, you use Flame up close and personal. If you damage these spine things, it does actually takes away the boss's HP, which makes Flame EX way more stronger here, if you remember from Invader. And for the skull attack, you can just go under him, like this opening is big enough, and that's Brock. Not much to say about Brock. Could honestly be easier than Bob the Bob, but and that's it for my video. I did not expect for my speedruns to actually do this well. It's still the most popular video so far. So, yeah. Comment down below if you disagree with anything. Yeah.